I have to find a way to you. And I have to take all these measures to be able to find the right person. Because not everyone is just really ready to hear me out. And if you're still there, still watching, that's great. You are the curious one. And that's who I am looking for. The curious. People these days, they don't have curiosity anymore. It's like dead. No one is acting like a child anymore, curious to know everything, ask questions. Now all these adults go around without any curiosity. Dead inside. They rarely find people that they are compatible with them. They rarely find situations that they can share their true self with others. Everyone pretty much feels lonely, alone, so no one dares to really ask questions. Everyone is just doing the same thing every day. No one is curious anymore. No one is really willing to know this life anymore. Yeah, we have so many knowledgeable people. Yeah, we have so many curious people. But curious for information, curious for knowledge, not curious for existential things, curious for knowing, curious what's going on with my body. Like one of the simplest thing is that sit still and you will realize that you have a profound energy moving inside you, and then you can just put it to work. You can do pretty much anything you want by realizing your inner energy. But just because we can't sit still, we are living in a modern world that is just continuously wants you to pace, wants you to move, wants you to just be on your survival hormones. Cortisol. Your cortisol level is always high, it's dripping. And this is that chemical your brain releases when you are in deep danger. But every single day, your brain is releasing cortisol because you're going through a stress and anxiety of this society, and your brain thinks you must be in danger. If this much stress is in your life, then you must be in danger. Maybe a predator. But the predator is the system. The system is like eating you up. And yeah, there are so many curious people for knowing the system, for knowing the information, for understanding the system, to be able to comply to the system, to be able to become a good citizen, to become a good player in this system, because system wants a good player. And the more information you gather, the more knowledge you gather, you become a great player in this system. But no matter how much knowledge you gather, no matter how much information you gather, you can't still explain this. You can't still explain what's going on around you. Not even science, it can't explain. The deeper they get, they realize the bigger deep it gets. Science only is able to dissect things. Science never really wants to experience things. Science has to kill things to realize things. Otherwise, it's not possible. Science can look at the flower and tell you, yes, the flower is made from these components. No, science has to dissect the flower, has to destroy it, has to kill it to be able to understand it. So, to be frank, if you are waiting for science to explain this whole consciousness to you, I promise to you that science will kill it before it can give it to you. You get what I'm talking about? You get what I'm trying to transfer here? None of your societal conditioning in life is going to give you something meaningful. None of it. None of your belief systems, none of your most accurate judgments are going to help you. If you don't realize that you have as big of as an universal energy in you, you can pretty much do whatever you want, be whoever you want, live any life you want. But you just keep living someone else's life. You never really live your own life. And that's the problem. You don't know what's your life. You don't know how to live it. You don't know how to move your life forward without following others, without copying others. Because you just don't want to take responsibility for your life. You don't want to take this life to the next level with your own bare hands, you know. You want all those gadgets, all those accessories, because they just make it convenient and comfortable. Don't get me wrong, I am all up for technology, but it comes with a cost, you know. If you don't really realize it, sooner or later you will become enslaved by the technology, because technology is in the hand of people who are destroyers. They are not creators. They are needed. They are needed in this world. They are needed in this universe. But they are destroyers. They are not creators. And that's what you can become, you know. At best, in this world, you can get to this high level of hierarchy that is the biggest destroyer. That's what I guess they call, right? They call the devil, like the people who run the whole system, like Illuminatis and conspiracies and things like that. But perhaps it's not a conspiracy, you know. It's a fact. It's something that is there. The system requires a big destroyer, and it's needed. It's absolutely needed. That dark force is needed. But there is also the light, you know, force. And honestly, you could be the maximum destroyer or you could be the maximum creator. Either way, nothing's gonna really change. It's all okay. But when it comes to you, to your life, then it becomes significant, because for me, your life is not really significant. And it should be the same for you. My life is not really significant for you. And when it comes to your own life, when you look at your own life by, let's say, meditation, then you realize the significance of it. then you're like, okay, if I get involved into the system, I will not realize the significance of my life and I will go in this path to become a destroyer. But when you realize your significance, when you look at your life and go within, you realize that this light is much more blissful, it's much more consistent with bliss. The other side is much more consistent with misery. No matter how powerful you are, for example, in this world, no matter how much you can accomplish without getting caught, no matter how criminal you are, let's say you are the ruler of this system, this world, billionaires and stuff, right? They go to sleep with misery, with suffering. When they put their head on their pillow, they think about all the things that they did. They think about all that destruction that they brought. And that just kills them. Every single night when they are going to sleep, they think about it. And that's why they are considered ugly, right? Because it just comes with misery, with suffering. But on the other hand, you can just go to sleep with absolute bliss, with absolute awareness. You take your breath in and you become grateful. You live with grace, you sleep with grace, you wake up with grace. You live with grace, you walk on this earth with grace. You pass by people and they feel graceful. That's the light. That's the energy that you want to really live with it because it's blissful. But the more you go toward the system, the more you end up doing things that you don't want to do. But just because society puts this pressure on you that you should be doing this, you go toward the system, you go toward destruction, you go toward masculinity. That's what the universe, this world is just function based on. Full on masculinity is full on destruction. Again, I'm not saying it as a good thing or as a bad thing. This is just a polarity of two energy. Max masculinity is full on destruction, and max femininity is full on creation. This is a totally different topic that I just don't want to enter right now. Let's talk about you and the system. The more you live in this system, you get pulled toward destruction. And this destruction is not so easy to come out because you're continuously living in it. You can't really come out of it because without that, you don't have any identity. Without that, you're nobody. And when you're nobody, that's just really hard to live in this world. Nobodies don't have a really great life. Society wise, let's say, and social wise, because it's really hard to come out. When you come out, you become the outcast. When you come out, you become the far, let's say, out. But this far out, it can be two sides, right? For me, people on the other side are just far out. They're just like gone completely. But you gotta do it, you know. It's hard, you know, it's hard in the beginning. Everyone tries to convince you that this is not a good life, this is not a good choice, this is not something that you should be doing. You should follow the conventional way of living. Don't go toward alternatives because it brings trouble. But this is just mostly societal conditioning and mainly religious conditioning that has been carried on for thousands of years. Bottom line is, stop fucking around, you know? That's the bottom line. If you're still here, still watching, if you're that one person that watched the whole video fully, if you are that one person that you are here for the awareness, for the meditation, for the energy, not for the entertainment, let's do it, huh? How are you doing though? Thank you.